An artificially created rapper just signed to Capitol Records. What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again for another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. CLBMG all day, every day. So what I just told you is an artificially created, an AI rapper robot just got a major record deal on a major label. And I want to talk about it. It's so much. When I first sent this to people, they were like, is this real? Are you serious? Is this happening for real? And there is so much to unpack in this. Like you get the headline and you don't everything the headline can only tell you but so much. Sometimes the headlines tell you everything. You don't need to read it. This you have to read this because there is no way for me to describe this to you of how deep this really is, right? And you could take it one of two ways. It can be, oh, it's just the future and it's just a silly TikTok that people are following for fun. Or you can say they are about to wipe black people out of rap and create a whole new rap where they don't have to pay nobody because everything is fake, right? So let's talk about it. I'm going to read from some articles, and because I need to give you a better understanding of what is going on, right? Like I said, it's either serious or goofy to you, depending on how you take it. The virtual rapper FN Meka. I'm gonna say Meka. I think it's FN Meka, right? I don't know anything about this art. I just found out about this literally yesterday. So I'm gonna say FN Meka. The virtual rapper FN Meka just landed a record deal. For a while, researchers and scientists have been coming out. I'm not gonna read all that. The rap world has officially been infiltrated by AI. An artificial intelligence-powered rapper named FN Meka just made headlines after signing to a major label. The virtual rapper inked a deal with Capitol Records. Meka has also released its first single, Florida Water, which features the gaming streamer Clicks and real human rapper Gunna. The song is fairly conventional and is doing big numbers on TikTok, having garnered over 190,000 likes at the time of the writing. The rapper is the creation of Brandon Lee and Anthony Martini of Factory New, which is a virtual record label that was the first to sign the robot. Martini claims that the rapper's voice is that of a real human, but everything else about him, from his lyrics to the chords and tempo underpinning, is based on AI. So they got the vocal cords of some guy, but they used those vocal cords to create the lyrics, and they put them together certain ways where it sounds like it's flowing. And the AI itself decides what it will say here, what it will say there. So the AI is basically writing its own lyrics. It uses the voice as the blueprint to put the lyrics out. And it's deciding based on popular songs, which is very important. It's not making up its own cadences. It's not making up its own subject matter. It is using popular songs, throwing them into a big blender, and deciding which parts to take for each song that it makes, right? Let me continue. FN Meka is a big sign for Capitol Records, as the virtual being has over 10 million followers and 1 billion views on TikTok. Ryan Rudin of Capitol Records describes Meka as such. It meets at the intersection of music, technology, and gaming culture. It's just a preview of what's to come. The Terminator never saw this coming. The Terminator's entire job is to destroy the human race. Right? So, again, this could be really offensive to you, or it can be a joke. Right? 10 million followers on TikTok. There's more to uncover with this, and I just want to say a little bit more before I insert my commentary, right? So, it seems like it says, they quote, "We're trying to blur the lines so that we can bring everyone into the future. What's the future? What does the future look like? Let me just start by this. The creators of this AI-controlled rapper are white guys. I have nothing against white guys. I have no problem with them at all. But the rapper is not a white created rapper. It's a black created rapper. Not only is it a black created rapper, the rapper says the N-word and it says gun-related lyrics into its songs, right? So your first thought is, well, don't rappers say the N-word? And don't they put gun-related lyrics? And if you're doing something scientifically, wouldn't you put everything in it? Factual-based lyrics. You would omit certain things if you're going to be technologically accurate with your portrayal of a rapper in 2022. And that is a fact. But the only problem with it is if you're a white man trying to make money off it and you make a black rapper and you have it saying the N-word and promoting gun violence, there's something wrong with that. And I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. When I first heard this, I laughed at it because I'm like, a virtual rapper. But this tells you where society is. Everything's up for copy. Everything can be copied. Everything can be recreated and down to your culture, right? Young black kids saying the N-word is part of the culture. For better, for worse, it is what it is. And if you can come in and create something to mimic that, and you're going to stand to make millions to the point where you've signed this thing to a multi-million-dollar deal in respects of trying to cash in on it, you're perpetuating a culture that you are not a part of. And you're using that culture for financial gain that you honestly shouldn't be allowed to do. This robot should not be allowed to mimic black culture for what it's worth, good, bad, or indifferent, and make millions for white men that already have millions, right? Or trying to get millions in the case of these two guys. I don't know. But this thing was literally designed. They sat there for months, maybe years, creating this AI robot with the intent of making it mimic real people that actually talk and live this life. This robot is not going to get arrested, right? He's not going to get shot in the face at a gas station while he's pumping his gas because he has ops in the real world. But he's going to mimic that and put it on TikTok for his 10 million followers and perpetuate that so other kids in the real world will go out and mimic that. And they can get shot in the face. While the white creators sit back and make a whole truckload of money, which is whatever you want to call it, because they're already doing that anyway. But I want to read what Anthony Martini has to say. He says, even with all the money labels devote to finding talent, the success rate is a pitiful 1%. Now we can literally custom create artists using elements proven to work, greatly increasing the odds of success. So now they can custom create a black robot that says the N-word, right? And I'm not this guy, a chest thumper, going around every time the N-word is said. I'm running around with the whole picket sign and 100 people because someone said the N-word, right? It's not something I go around daily counting and categorizing people as racist and things like that. And this guy, it's impossible to, well, I'm not even gonna say impossible, but it would be pretty hard for this guy to create a black robot and sit there all day listening to these raps and trying to mimic a black person if he was a racist, right? Let me just start there. He could have mimicked anything. But, so I'm not gonna say that the creators are racist, but to some degree you have to question the methods if you think the best way for you to make an artist would be a black AI robot that says the N-word. I'm just going to keep it a buck. There is no logical reason that you need this robot to say the N-word. There is no reason. A rapper that says the N-word grew up in that environment, and that's what he was raised doing. And he says it because that's what he was raised. This robot was literally X's and O's. This was ones, and these are digits that you put in. And you decided that this robot says the N-word. You could have literally, every song, the songs I've heard this rapper singing on, he did not need the N-word in none of them. That programming was put in because kids say the N-word. And for your robot to be respected amongst these kids, you made it say the N-word. Right? AI has certain rules written into the code. I'm not an AI expert, but I'm going to assume if we're making things that are to serve humans, which AI is supposedly doing, some of the code, if I watch science fiction, and some of the codes are, it can't hurt humans, it can't do things that's going to hurt humans. Am I correct? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I don't think that these AIs just run ruckshot and do whatever they want to do. I think some of the code in there is written by humans so that it won't hurt other humans. And one of the codes that could have been in there that it would never say the N-word. I'm just at a loss as to why this thing. I went to the one of the TikToks, one of the songs, a snippet couldn't have been no more than 10 seconds. And I think I heard the N-word 10 times. And I'm not exaggerating. At best, that thing said the N-word 5 times. You needed 5 N-words in that one TikTok? So what I'm saying is, it's overly simplifying a culture that is rich. This thing will never, ever be able to fully depict our culture. Because if you're tapping in, putting the N-word in just to make it seem credible and to make the song bump, then that's far from the culture. And as a matter of fact, the fact that it's pulling from the most popular songs tells you this thing is 100% a money grab. It has no deeper purpose but to make music that already is selling, right? I get it. That's what they're in the job for. That's why they signed it. That's why they created it, was to make money. But if you're not questioning why they need to make the money in the first place and how they're making it, then you're not doing your due diligence, and that's what I'm here for. So I'm here to say the entire concept is disrespectful. I have no problem with AI, but I do have a problem with AI targeting black people, and black kids, and using the most disparaging words to get them to respect it, and to get it to sound black to the little white kids who believe all black kids talk like this. I know a lot of black kids that don't say the N-word, right? And damn sure not going to say it to 10 million people, 10 million white kids. Because let's be honest, the majority of the people on TikTok are going to be white kids. Listening to F in Meka. Liking it, following it. It's going to be little white girls and little white boys who have no clue that the N-word ain't as cute as they think it is. And it ain't as sassy as it sounds. And a lot of kids say it because they don't have no clue what it actually relates to. And again, I'm not this Bible thumper or chest thumper who's telling people who and when and where to say the N-word of all things, right? But I have to ask the question, if these major labels are putting up all this money and they feel the need to sign a virtual robot, which is clearly going to make money, where do you think they're going to start going for their next hits? They're going to ice out these young black kids like NBA Youngboy and Kodak Black who had nothing before they had rap. They were in and out of the system. These guys would still be breaking in people's houses and shooting people in the head if it wasn't for the streets, if it wasn't for the music taking them out of the streets. So now you're going to have even less opportunity when they get their third and fourth. Now I know it sounds gloom and doom, right? And it's not all gloom and doom because this thing is never. You'll never fully take rap from young black people. It's just not gonna happen. It's like trying to take boxing. It's trying to make every boxer white. It'll never happen, right? Too hungry, too creative, and if you did take it, they would just make something else. So you'll never stop the flow of it, but you can water it down and you can make it soulless, which, in my opinion, is things like the laws that they're passing where you can't teach kids about slavery and you can't talk about racism because it'll make someone feel guilty. It's called whitewashing. It's erasing history. Now you can make a rapper and make him seem just like any other rapper, but you don't gotta pay him. You can control him, and you can make him seem just as cool as these kids, and now you don't need these kids anymore. This label's gonna cake up off of this AI invention. They're gonna sit back and make millions. They're gonna pay rappers whatever their little verse fee is and make quadruple off of it. Right? They just said an NBA YoungBoy's verses cost $300K. You got to pay NBA YoungBoy $300K. So they're going to get every rapper that they can to rap alongside FN Meka. The song will do millions. They'll give you your 3 and they'll make 10 million. Now you don't really need them no more. And the simple fact of the problem is, and my opinion is, I just got kind of an issue, right? I don't have a problem with execs making money. But I got an issue with, as a matter of fact, it's not just you making money, but it's perpetuating what the worst of our culture is. Right? I have no problem with you making money, but when you start to actually X out, you sit there and you basically, for lack of a better word, I don't have a better word, so the word I'm going to use is steal. You sit at a computer for at least a year or so, and you see everything that the black culture, the popular part of the black culture, is presenting, and you dump it all into a program, and you create an image of that, and you put it out, and you start to make it seem like it's fun and in the future and it's whimsical. When at the end of the day, this is nothing but a complete money grab at a culture that's not yours. And this is why I got so upset when Timbaland and Swizz sold verses. People have been asking me, why are you so upset about his business? You're supposed to sell things that once you triple them in value, you're supposed to sell it, not the culture. And this is what happens when you sell the culture. You start making robots where the end of the robot is the hand of the person who used to oppress you, right? So maybe, like I said in the very beginning of the video, maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe I'm being the knee-jerk reaction is unwarranted because they haven't done anything wrong. It's not illegal to create an AI robot, right? There's nothing illegal about that. But what is illegal to me, right? If you're going to construct something from scratch and you put the flaws in it that are actually it's not constructive to have rappers saying the N-word in any event, right? We all say it. We grew up saying it. It feels natural. It's comfortable. We say it. But if you're going to construct a being, a perfect being from scratch, and you insert those negative connotations into it and your end game is to make money, that I believe is wrong. So we're going to see where this goes. I see the outcry is going to be crazy because no one was up on this until Capitol Records signed it. No one cared. And it's going to be a problem because the simple fact, you guys, you canceled the baby for what he said, right? I'm going to see how far this goes because I guarantee you, if that robot drops an F-bomb, right? If that robot says a gay slur, I promise you that thing will get deleted. So let's see where it goes. The robot is having a blast. He's saying the N-word all over the place. Let's see how it goes when it says something real negative. I bet you that kid in that studio saying them words for that robot will never say anything against a LGBTQ person. You can control that, can't you? And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. You let me know what you think in the comments about FM Meka. Tell me what you think. Is this gloom and doom, or do we got every right to be concerned? My name is Chuckwick, a.k.a. Challz Brown. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.